to that shortly in a little bit. But right now, we are going to recap the Giants and the Saints Monday Night Football game, which was pretty high scoring from basically from start to finish. And with Drew Brees' 4 touchdown passes, including 1 rushing one, which equals 5 touchdown passes, his QB rating was just absolutely off the charts. He threw 2 to Lance Moore, and then he had 2 to Jimmy Graham, which was 4, and then he rushed for 1 in. It was just 5 touchdowns. I mean, Drew Brees was absolutely phenomenal in the victory over the New York Giants, 49-24. Eli Manning didn't play too bad either, but it was just mostly all Drew Brees.
Now I have one thing to tell you. Did you both hear that Drew Brees is actually 1 more game away from breaking Marino's record?
I thought that was last year.
No, he's gonna break. He said he came close last year, but he lost, and losing. He didn't get a chance to break it. He is now 1 more game away from breaking it, and also
one more game from what?
From setting his all-time for beating Dan Marino's all-time pro record. He is
for what? Yards?
For
touchdowns?
Yards passed.
Well, you were.
He already broke that.
No, they just.
I was about to
announced
say
it.
you weren't being a little bit specific.
No, they just announced it this morning. And also another thing I will tell you that happened last night in the Saints game, the Saints defense came out of nowhere, forcing fumbles, getting 3 or 4 interceptions last night, and just.
Well, they did allow 24 points. Just.
Yeah, and
And
Eli Manning threw 400 yards,
and then 49-24. I mean that. Chase Daniel came in there, but he was 1 for 1, but he was perfect. But Drew Brees, let's talk about his stats. 24, 38, 363, 4 TDs, including 1 rushing TD. His QB rating was almost 130.
Yeah, and I thought that was funny. I thought that was the funniest thing ever, how he rushed.
Well, now I think people are seeing
No, he
this.
rushed for 8 yards and got in for a score.
Yeah, I loved
After
it.
seeing this, they're like, now, who are we talking about? Tom Brady? Who's he?
Exactly. Finally, the dynasty has fallen.
I don't know about that, but Tom Brady did play pretty good, though, against the Philadelphia Eagles. But getting back
It's
to
Philadelphia. What do you want? It's not like it's a powerhouse team. It's Philly. Philly.
It could have been a powerhouse team, but
No,
okay.
no,
But let's
not
get
here.
back. Let's get back
It was the best team on paper.
on paper. Yeah.
Let's keep it at that.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's get back to the Saints game. Mark Ingram had also had a touchdown rush with 80 yards. Pierre Thomas had the same as well. Darren Sproles kind of got in there a little bit, but didn't really produce too much, but except on the punt return side. But let's talk about the Giants' receiving stats. How about Victor Cruz? 157 yards, 2 TDs on 9 catches.
Victor Cruz played phenomenal, but the simple fact is that they
Over Hakeem Nicks, too, one of the number 1 options.
Yeah, I was like, wow. But
here's the fact. Eli Manning threw over 400 yards and had 2 TDs.
Yes, he did. And they are saying it's one of his best. They're saying this was one of his best passing games ever. But in my opinion, you could do it. You could have a great passing or a great running game, but if you can't get the points in to score, it's not going to do you anything.
That's why the most important points are points allowed and points you don't allow.
Exactly, and the points you actually score is.
And did you see what happened during the game? And we have our tech viewers right here, and he'd probably laugh if he saw this. As you're watching the game, they're calling the game, and you see one of the cameras just going this way, just starts turning, and it goes off, and you see the guy. Oh, he's at the 40, the 20. Oh, I'm sorry, folks, you can't see it, but where he's and just literally. Oh, I'm sorry, folks, that you cannot see it, and everyone people are at home watching what.
When I watched that, I was like, switch it. Come on. We could do better than that.
Exactly. You would think you would have switched it, and all he could say was, as he's calling the game, we're sorry for the technical difficulties. You would think if you're at that level that you would just, especially from coming from.
The Giants and the Saints were in the Monday Night Football game.
We were talking a technical thing.
We're talking about a technical thing. The camera was like this. Okay, let's say the camera's on the field. All of a sudden, it just goes like this, and it goes up into the stand, and they're saying, "Oh, they keep it on there instead of switching it back to a camera on the field. They keep it up there, and they're saying, "Oh, we're sorry for the technical difficulties," instead of just automatically switching over. It took them 3 seconds to switch over instead of just automatically.
That is not right.
And in a professional level, wouldn't you think the director would have said,
someone's getting a new job.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting fired.
Yeah. Wouldn't you think that you would have automatically switched?
Yes.
We practice that every day here. You know.